page.
Alrighty, I think get signed on here. Let me just double check, make sure we are good to go here.
Flowers are pretty.
Thank you. Those were gifted to me from Dave. I got those for Mother's Day from him.
That's nice.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Mom told me all about that. He's very
he was
selective.
super excited. So we are all good to go. So welcome. Hello, Dr. Loriann.
Hey, Emily.
How are you today?
I am groovy. Things are just grooving here. It's been kind of a slow day, which is nice. And then I repotted some plants, which always just energizes me. And, I talk to them and we sing and we talk about you're moving into a new room and it's good. So they have, I won't go much deeper down that rabbit hole. Oh, speaking, I have a rabbit hole I want to go down right now. I'm not going to. How was your day?
So far, my day is good. It will definitely be blending into our topic when we talk about the difference between balance and harmony. I've been having some ghostly car issues apparently going on since January, and they still can't figure anything out with it. It always happens for me, but anytime I take it into the auto shop, they're like, we don't hear anything. So just kind of like, hey, got it. And then I feel like I look like the crazy one. And it's like, I swear
that's
it's happening.
That can be frustrating.
But it's also at the same time, okay, well, I guess there's nothing I need to do about it now and just groove with the flow of all of it.
Yep, totally. It's going to fit right in today.
That's going to fit right in. So welcome everyone who is joining us. I am Emily Laugle. I am a board certified massage therapist, certified facilitator in the energy codes, and newly coaching in the energy codes, working with clients on an individual level with that. And joining us today, we have the wonderful Dr. Loriann Laugle joining us.
Oh, you're so nice. Hey, I'm Dr. L, coming to you live from St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, family wellness chiropractor, and becoming a plant lady extraordinaire. Fingers crossed.
Good luck on that journey, because it's been definitely a journey for me. When I first started in my plant journey, I definitely was not a good plant mama, but over the years, I have learned to become better at that.
Well, you're a good mama, so it's all good.
Thanks. Just a couple of housekeeping. If you are joining us live, we highly encourage and invite you to interact with us in the chat box, and we'll be sure to visit that and connect with you on that level. So thank you all who are joining us live on this. Today we are...
sorry, about the chat box. I can't see a chat box. Do you see a chat box?
Yes, I see it. So I'll be sure to check it.
All right. So you guys can talk all about me and say like this really crazy things, and I won't see it or ever. So
I'll be sure to point them all out to you.
Yes. Thank you for that.
So in today's topic, we are going to be discussing Secret to a Balanced Life. And through the last couple of weeks, we have been really connecting on, what is balance, what is harmony. And we really just, as we're shifting through, I feel like all of our life, we have been living this, quote, balanced life. And as we're becoming to know, it has a very different feeling with it versus living a life of harmony. Mm-hmm. And we're going to dive more into the different feelings of that. We're going to have the exercise we're all going to do together on here and kind of share some insight of, are we really living a balanced life, or should we shift more into a life of harmony?
Yeah. Is a balanced life even possible?
Right. It might just be a whole mind game that we've been playing with ourselves this whole entire time.
Totally. Yeah.
And then as we get started, kind of just sharing, some challenges or problems that we experience. And How do you balance your professional life with your personal life? How do you balance time with your partner, your spouse, time for yourself, time for your children, and time for the extended family and friends? Are you guys getting a little already?
Yeah, and then you still have to eat every day. So how do you balance healthy eating? And then there's the cleaning up part and keeping a clean house, and so all these different
And
plates. And it seems like
exercise.
we're spending. Oh yeah, don't forget your exercise
And
too, right?
exercise,
And you have to do your breath work, and you have to do the homework that your massage therapist, your chiropractor told you. And,
you better brush your teeth.
yeah, got to brush your teeth as well and make your bed. And so lots of different kind of spinning plates going on, and it can become a little overwhelming and feel very, very stressful. And so as we've been reflecting on, okay, how do you balance life? And you hear people say like, okay, I just need to live a more balanced life. And we just hear a lot of people keep on talking about that. And if we've been talking about it for so long, you think we should have figured it out by now.
Mastered it, right? Like
I know,
I'm
right?
balancing things. It's like I'm spinning everything and everything is spinning just fine. Like I got it all.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of a Dr. Seuss book. Isn't it like a picture where they're like balancing all these like different things?
Yeah.
And at some point it has to crash and come down. So is balance really anything that exists in the first place?
Is balance even sustain? Yeah, does it exist? And if it does exist, is it sustainable?
Right.
And our goal, and what we are, not our goal, what we are shifting into is harmony, living a harmonious life. How can I create more harmony in my life? How can I see that I'm already living within harmony, and that maybe there's nothing I need to change after all? Like it's just grooving along perfectly as it is.
Right. So to start us off, maybe let's step into this exercise that we want to share with everyone. So did you want me to lead it, or would you like to?
Well, just go back and forth. You lead it and I'll chime in.
Yeah. So in this exercise, we have a little comment here from Judy. She says, I think there is a conception that balance means doing everything, and that's not true. Yes, we do get this common misconception that balance is we're capable of doing all the things, and I'm this superwoman, and look how great I am. I can balance and do all these different things in my life. And in reality, there's some point where enough is enough, and it can come crashing down. And Regina says, harmony seems to make more sense to me than balance and more easily achieved. Awesome. Thank you, ladies, for sharing that, because as we step into this exercise, we're really going to get a sense and feel of how the two different words really feel in our bodies. So in this exercise, we really want to get you into the feeling zone and notice how you feel when we step into this. So notice how you feel in the body, not just what you think, but how you feel in your body. So are you feel tightening in the shoulders, restriction in the throat, breathing more shallow, chest might feel heavy, knot in stomach, quivering, feeling like your head is going to explode. Mm-hmm. So like, how can I balance the very areas of my life? Again, drop into your body and just say, how can I balance the various areas of my life? How can I bring more balance into my life? How does that feel for you? Do you feel that sense of tightening in a certain area? Do you start to feel a sense of overwhelmment? Like, do you start to feel overwhelmed? Like how, and then, oh my gosh, how am I going to manage all this? There's just so much to do. Notice how you feel. And next, let's change that up to, how can I harmonize the various areas of my life? How can I harmonize the various areas of my life? Do you notice a difference or a shift and change of the different energies of how those words feel?
And it may have even gone from feeling really anxious to curious, because maybe you know what balance feels like, and harmonize might be, it's a new energy that you might not know about, or it's like, what harmonize, like what does that even mean? So maybe you're moving from this anxiety, I got to create balance, into a curiosity about harmonize. So that could be a shift, a change too. So just notice how you feel between the words balance and the word harmony, and just play around with that.
Yeah, and you'll come to, and I like how you say the curiosity, because for me, when I hear the word harmony, I feel like a responsibility is taken off my shoulders. Like I don't have to be responsible for anything. And I know the moment we start feeling responsible for things, we have to figure it out now. Got to have it done. Got to have it organized. Got to have it structured. You know, I have this one part of my life taken care of. Got this one going. Yet when harmony comes, it just kind of just feels like this sway.
Right. There's a sense of ease that comes with harmony versus having to do it now this way in this order. And we even, as I was reflecting on this, like it's been for the past few months, and on these two different words that I've been reflecting on, I even looked up the definition and on Merriam-Webster. I didn't write them down here, but I wrote about the same thing on my blog on drloriann.com, where I kind of take this conversation, kind of take it through step by step, and balance, versus harmony. And they define balance as just more staunch and structured, and kind of all things kind of happening at the same time, or giving all things equal weight. Where the balance is, I have it pulled up here for you, the physical equilibrium, stability produced by an even distribution of weight on each side of a vertical axis to bring into harmony or proportion. So like you said, the balance feels staunch, it feels intimidating, forceful, like walking a tightrope with an oversized basket of fruit on your head, or like several moms, carrying the baby, bags of groceries, and the spinning plates. And then where harmony is, actually I do have it pulled up. Yeah, I have it pulled up here.
Yeah, go for it.
Harmony. Harmony is defined as the pleasing arrangement of parts. Agreement, accord, internal calm. So I like the internal calm as a part of harmony, because you get to be calm. Life doesn't have to be always crazy and stressful.
Right.
The combination of simultaneous musical notes in a chord.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So Em and I were talking yesterday how music wouldn't be music without the highs and the lows, without it being musical, because sometimes you have to play a note louder or longer than other ones, and I grew up playing piano, and I can still read music, but it's not as great. So anyways, I learned all those different musical terms, and sometimes you're holding a note for 4 counts or for 2 counts, and you have the rest. Sometimes it's just time to pause, and some pauses are longer or shorter than others, and sometimes you're playing multiple notes at a time, and sometimes it's one note. And that's more like life, right? Sometimes it's big and there's a lot going on, and then it gets smaller, not as much going on, and there's different pauses. And music allows you to have that variability. Harmony allows you to have that variability, versus where balance is, it's like playing the same note. Giving all things equal attention, the same note over and over and over again. And that's kind of boring. It can maybe even get kind of stressful if it's just a lot of notes all at the same time. Bong, 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 bong. And so it's when we can, we allow that harmony, allow that music to flow into our lives, it becomes more pleasing and enjoyable and more calm.
Yes, I really like that analogy. And because as we know, like the notes are on, the different lines of the scales and everything. And I was picturing a balanced life to me looks more like one note on the same line, just going all the way across, where that's like a note. Doesn't really create music and harmony. It's the variation of the notes, of how they're placed on the page, the ups and the downs, and
exactly,
the expansion and maybe more of like the contraction. And I really like how the analogy, if we really just kind of sit back and look at our life, that's how our life really does flow and go as well. Regina shared with us with the exercise that we just did. With the balance statement, I felt a tightness in my solar plexus, which is the power center. Her shoulders and throat tensed. With the harmony statement, she felt a calming flow throughout her entire body. Her shoulders were relaxed and her breath was calming and deeper.
cool feedback.
I know. It definitely does make a difference. I notice when I hear the word balance, I kind of start constricting up myself.
I start making my list, and I start judging myself, like, oh, I'm not spending enough time with this, or I'm eating too many chips, or I'm not spending enough time with my son, or I'm not spending enough time at work. And it's really unrealistic to give all things all your attention all the time. And with harmony or in a song, as we related to, sometimes you have to play some notes louder and longer. So sometimes your home life needs more attention and love. Sometimes your professional life, you have to work a little bit extra for a little while. Or maybe there's a time where you need to focus on exercise. This week I'm just going to be focusing on exercise. And it's okay if some things fall by the wayside, but this week I really just want to focus on exercise. And so
go ahead, sorry.
There you go.
I was just saying, there's some days and weeks where your attention is needed in more areas than others, and that's great. Like, the only constant in life is change. Like, every week and every day is not going to be the same as the previous one before. And allowing that, giving ourselves permission to allow that to happen in our life. And go ahead.
I was just saying, because you're talking about nature, and one of my favorite sayings is, the nature of nature is change. So if things are in flux and flowing and changing, you're just in harmony with nature. And that's kind of a groovy place to be.
Yeah. And on that, I want to share a reflection I had earlier this week. I was doing
this was cool. Go ahead.
I was doing the Body Awake yoga on Monday, and this is, at this point, Dr. L and I had only just scheduled, hey, let's have a talk, let's just have it be on harmony versus balance. And we scheduled it for this day. We hadn't even touched on notes, hadn't really gone over yet what we were going to discuss. All we knew was our topic. And at the end of the yoga, I just kind of was laying there and meditating, as we do, and it just it came to me, like, the difference, and I was kind of really sitting with each word, what each word felt like in my body. And this is what I came up with. Balance, to me, feels very rigid. It feels structured, very segmented, controlling, and balancing, of spinning like many plates, as we've already discussed. Harmony, to me, feels like ease, flow, harmonizing together, a sway, a dance, surrendering, and becoming with what is. It's like this beautiful dance, a symphony of the cells, all parts working together. And then, in the last day or two, connecting with Dr. L and then getting on her website, reading her blog, finding out she had previously written a blog about this topic, which I really wasn't aware of. And as I read it, a lot of that same stuff was written in her blog as well. And I was just like
same words and everything. So,
and I didn't look up definitions or anything. I just sat with and felt how these words really resonated in my body and what it felt like. And knowing that the Webster Dictionary definition is almost the exact same thing. So I thought that was just very cool,
very in tune with that you're able to, that we came across the same answers. This is the same, and that there are probably more people having this experience more than just us. And hopefully we can offer some sort of solution or a sense of ease as you start switching from balance into harmony.
And I feel like a lot of women too, as females, just how we are made up, scientifically of how we are made up, we tend to take on more responsibility of this idea of balance. And just the way that we're structured, we tend to automatically take on the responsibility of feeling we have to balance everything, because the way our brain works and function is as more of a community as a whole, like overlooking everything, making sure everything's in balance, everything's good. And my invitation here is for us women is to maybe just kind of step back and see what you can allow to harmonize in your life.
And see what's already harmonizing. Like I said, there may be nothing that you have to change or fix other than just to surrender control. a little bit
Yeah.
and a little bit more. And Emily, let's talk about how, when we get caught up in balance, what our days are like when we are in a state of balance versus a state of harmony. And if you don't have one, I can start us off.
You can go ahead and start us off with that.
Yeah. So in our family, we love to do lists. We love making lists, and we love crossing them off and crossing them off. And once we start making a list, it just gets really, really long. I was like, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do today. And I how to keep it realistic. Like, okay, I can probably only do like 1 or 2 of these things, but maybe I'll get 3 or 4 done. Maybe I'll get 5 or 6 done. And when I get a little too ambitious with my lists, especially with a 10-month-old at home, and I'm home mostly with him, we have really stressful days. Like, I become very impatient. I get fussy. Ezra gets fussy. Jay gets home from work, and I'm just like, here, take the baby. And I'm really not pleasant, and it really wasn't a great day. And it's just because I was trying to get too much done, living in a state of balance. Babies don't know anything about balance. They're in the state of flow, and I'm going to throw this toy next, and now I'm hungry, and now we're going to do this, and now we're just going to pull this leaf off or whatever. Babies live in the state of harmony and flow. And so I get really fast feedback from him if I start going too much toward balance versus harmony. And when I just allow more ease and space in my day with him, things flow. It's a lot more harmonious and calm and joyful.
Yeah. I gotta pause a second. It's starting to rain really hard here. I just gotta make sure my windows are closed. Okay. Yep, we got him closed. Okay.
All right.
Checked on that. Good to go.
Cool.
Sorry, I got a little distracted there for a second. So harmonizing, going with the flow.
Exactly.
But yeah, I can definitely relate with you on the list. We have an idea of what our day should look like, an idea of how we would like our days to go. This pandemic has been a really good exercise for me. I love organization. I love structure. It brings a lot of peace to me. And at the same time, I do really practice, I'll say, balance. Now learning more about harmony, stepping into that, allowing what is, going with the flow, and surrendering to the idea of knowing things don't always go the way that we think they're going to go. And like many people, myself too, my work life had been completely changed. It was going from a really successful massage practice to now a complete halt. And it's like, what do I do with my hands?
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands. I'm so used to working and to serving, and this time has really quickly invited me to step into the harmony of what is, and surrendering to that and asking the questions of what's next, and really dropping in and just sitting with, what can I do right now? What are the important things I need to take care of? What I need to manage? Yes, I have these ideas of different things that I like to do, but what's priority? What's important in the right now, in the moment? And I think this pandemic time has really allowed us and invited us and encouraged us to really just be able to sit with what is and what's important for us, and dropping in and getting to know ourselves.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for sharing all that. Hopefully we can relate with either of our stories and our perspectives. And so we're talking about, okay, you have these, like, the structure and balance, and should we even be setting goals and setting intentions if we're just supposed to be going with the flow anyways? First of all, let's take out supposed to, and the shoulds and the woulds and the coulds. If we we talk about going in the flow and just being present. Doesn't even matter if we set goals, intentions, or have a vision, or have the to-do list. What do you think, Em?
I think it is very important, because it is important to have a direction, and it is important to have goals, because it's the creation of who you get to be on this planet, who you're wanting to become, who you are, the gifts you have to share, and having goals is important. There's a lot of power when you actually take time to sit and write things out. And it also helps keep you on the path of you, because we can be really good at living a life by default and allowing people or situations and experiences to keep pulling us in their direction. Unless we stop and give our own selves direction, we're going to continue to be pulled and splayed apart and living a life of someone else's versus living a life of our own. And having goals and setting intentions is so important, even though sometimes we might have a hurdle or two, or maybe we need to kind of go around this way, but yet we're still headed in the direction of our path.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the art is having these goals, intentions, having that vision while remaining detached to the outcome. And just really being present with what's happening now, and it's kind of having like one eye on the inside, one eye on the outside, looking forward, one eye on the inside, being present with yourself now. Otherwise, you're just kind of floating, as Emily said, and kind of living life by default versus with intention. So it becomes an art.
Yeah.
To, like I said, have your intentions while also remaining detached to how it turns out, because it can, kind of turn out as you expect or something even better suited for you. So being open and okay with that, and knowing that there's gift in it all.
Yeah, when you're still attached to the outcome, you're still attached to controlling with what happens. And our invitation here is really to drop the control and step in and surrender. And like even Mother Nature has its own plans. Like just as a bird, they plan their nests and their babies, and they're different animals in nature. They know how to gather the things they need to gather when they need to gather it. And all of a sudden, a huge storm comes in and knocks everything down in the way. Do you think they just stop? No, they're still on their path of knowing what they're needing to do.
And they just respond and keep grooving.
They keep grooving, and they rebuild, and they stay in the direction of what their path is.
Totally. And so and we have about 2 minutes left here, so we'll try to reel it in and wrap it up for you. But the invitation is to, just as you're sitting down and maybe planning out your day, your week, your year, kind of just intending how you want things to go for yourself, is to choose from a place of wisdom and joy. So you have this rising wisdom within you, and there are some things that just feel like a lot of fun, make you really joyful, and there are some other things in life that maybe you feel there's a duty, or you feel obligated, and it just feels heavy and weighs you down. And perhaps there are some things that you just have to do that you don't want to do. And how can you bring more joy into that? And there are some things you just don't have to do. Ask yourself, do I really have to do this? Do I really have to do this? Do I want to do this? And really start to choose from joy and your rising wisdom versus out of desperation and duty. And your life will switch more toward harmony versus living in balance.
Yes.
And you have more to add to that, Emily?
No, that was perfect. And when we start resonating ourselves with joy and happiness, and your life is going to change. And like with anything else, it is an exercise, it is a practice. And when you notice yourself frazzled, just recognize that, okay, maybe I'm trying to balance too much, and how can I step into harmony in this particular situation? So start being aware of how it is you're feeling, and are you trying to balance something, or are you trying to harmonize?
Exactly. And some other really great practices. I know a book that really helped me just become more peaceful and present is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, I don't know how to say his last name.
Yeah.
But one of the exercises he has you do is just close your eyes and listen to everything that's around you. You might hear like a dog barking in the distance, or there's a car driving by, and that's really great practice in just being present in the now. And that's really all we have. But we need to train ourselves on how to be present. And so the book is just great. So that's really great if you want to learn how to be more present, more harmonious. I'd recommend reading that book. If you also want to hop on my drloriann.com website and my blog, I write more, expand more on balance and harmony, and maybe that can help you move toward and shift more into harmony. And if you really love it, you could share it with somebody else who might need that too, or might find some inspiration from that. I have spoken. Go ahead, Emily.
Yeah, and her Balance Harmony blog is under the November 2019 link on her blog page, and it's
Can we post it in the
yeah
comments afterwards?
we can share it in the link here for sure. Yeah, we'll share that.
Okay.
So you guys will have access to that, make it really easy
Yay.
for you. And then my invitation for you is, if you are interested in furthering your practice and you're finding yourself, you're doing this on your own and you're needing a little extra help and assistance of understanding things, and maybe you're wanting to quicken your practice and the harmony in your life, I do offer coaching sessions in this type of work, and so I'd be really happy to work with you on that and help you transform your life and get you into that harmony, joy, bliss that we're always looking for, and there's nothing to look for, it's already here in the first place.
Totally.
So
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for another wonderful talk.
Yes, that was very awesome. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Village Tribe from, I don't know where everyone's joining us from today. I wish I could see you. You can come see me. Come see me. Let's go to the beach.
Yeah. And we have a comment here from Chelsea. She goes, "You both have helped me so much in my self-care journey. Love you guys. Love your guys' great ideas and outlook." So thank you, Chelsea.
Thanks, Chelsea. Appreciate you so much, and so grateful to have you as a part of our journey as well.
Judy says, "Great job with the video. Always a wealth of knowledge." Virginia says, "Thank you so much." And just so you guys all know, Dr. L's background is not a Photoshop of a picture. That is a real background.
It's a green screen. It's a green screen.
Not a green screen. So awesome. Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us today. And I will get that link put in the comments of Dr. L's blog, so you can take that with you and also share it with others as well. And as you know, you can reach out to us. We have, the social media, both of us have the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, visit our website, and I have a YouTube channel, so go on there at Loriann Laugle and subscribe to it, and I'll be adding this.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well, have a happy and harmonious day.
All right. Much love to you all.
All right. See ya.
Bye.